Today, I'd like to get into the nitty-gritty of challenges that are specific to particular social media platforms. Let's start with our old buddy Facebook, since it's such a huge player in nonprofit marketing still today. One of the most common challenges that organizations face on Facebook is visibility and reach. The beauty of Facebook being so well established and widely adopted is that just about everyone is on there. But the fact that everyone is on there makes the challenge that everyone is competing for eyeballs. When nonprofits are using a social media platform with the intent of expanding their audience, constantly battling to have content gain visibility is tough. And on top of that, Facebook frequently updates its algorithm, which can have an effect on your reach for organic or unpaid posts, which is the large majority of social media content being distributed by nonprofit organizations who rarely have big paid social media budgets. Additionally, keeping up with new features and tools on Facebook can be challenging, especially for organizations who don't have dedicated social media staff. But adapting to changes and utilizing new features effectively is really essential for staying relevant. So together, those things can make it challenging to adapt and maintain consistent engagement with our audiences on Facebook. And sometimes this gets us into the slide of, well, if we can't get good engagement, then we shouldn't continue to invest in content, which means we can't really support that platform. And then resources get pulled from social and profiles go stale or under-supported. Another challenge that's unique to Facebook is community management. Now, some of you listening might be like, hey, it's a challenge to manage a community on any platform, and I don't discount that. But the scope of how communities are managed on Facebook can be dramatically different than other platforms if you're administering groups, hosting events on the platform, and all sorts of other things. And yes, like any other platform, responding to comments and messages can certainly be time-consuming. So let's talk about one of those other platforms. Let's talk about Instagram. Like I mentioned regarding Facebook, managing comments, direct messages, and building a sense of community on Instagram requires time and effort. And similar to Facebook, Instagram also frequently updates its algorithm, which affects the organic reach of posts. And we know that means that we need to adapt to these changes if we want to maintain visibility among our followers. And of course, under the Meta portfolio, we also see the regular introduction of new features. And if we struggle to incorporate those features into our strategy effectively, we're really potentially missing out on engagement opportunities. An additional challenge on Instagram is adapting to visual trends. This is more important here than it is even on Facebook, since Instagram is really a visually oriented platform. But staying on top of visual trends can be difficult for organizations who don't have dedicated design or content creation teams. Since keeping content fresh and relevant is crucial, we need to be looking inside our own organizations for this kind of support. And if we can't find it there, we may need to do what we spoke about in a previous segment and align volunteers in this capacity. Additionally, if your nonprofit is involved in selling merchandise or products to support your cause, adopting and utilizing Instagram shopping features can be a complex process that requires time and attention. This is an area where you want to be sure you have expertise or gain support from a consultant who does to at least get it set up and ready to maintain. Now, in regard to TikTok, which is not a Meta platform, we face different challenges still. This platform is really known for short-form video content and a much younger audience. Those demographics alone can be a struggle for nonprofits who are trying to figure out how to adapt their messaging to resonate with a younger audience while still maintaining the authenticity and seriousness surrounding their mission, especially if the organization has been around for many, many years. And of course, TikTok's algorithm plays a significant role in content visibility, so understanding and adapting to the algorithm's preferences can always be a learning curve for nonprofits who are trying to maximize their reach. Here, it's very much about staying relevant with trends, and these trends and challenges that are popular on the platform can go viral very quickly and can also disappear very quickly if you don't engage in time. So nonprofits can find it challenging to stay updated on the latest trends and incorporate them into their content strategy to increase visibility when we're facing that level of urgency. Another content-related challenge for nonprofits using TikTok is conveying complex messages and information in short format. TikTok's not only looking for fun and engaging content, it's looking for all content, even educational content, to be delivered in a concise and engaging format. If you're trying to share data or dense program details, this can be tough. So before you hit record or dive into design, craft your key content points to make sure you keep yourself on track. And since TikTok is often seen as a platform that's more entertaining than anything, remember that your nonprofit needs to strike a balance between creating entertaining content that fits the TikTok style and maintaining the seriousness and authenticity of the guiding values your organization requires. And one last thing I'll mention about both Instagram and TikTok is that linking options are much more limited than they are on Facebook. So you'll want to make sure you have a global link or one you frequently update in your profile, or that you use a link aggregation tool on these profiles if you're going to direct followers to event registration, donation pages, or other digital resources. I think the biggest takeaway here is that regardless of the social media platform, there are elements like building community and creating content that can be challenging. But we need to remember that beyond that, there are additional factors we have to pay attention to that can be unique to each platform. So if you're a one-person social media shop or you're using volunteers to manage your social media, be mindful of that as you continue to advocate for resources to support these social channels.